इस देश की प्रगति का है विजन। आर्थिक आजादी मिले हमें है ध्येय बड़ा हो परिवर्तन। मन में मन जीतेंगे जंग ले मन के संग। खुद को ही अब तो हमने पहचाना है, पर्पस लाइफ का जाना, कर्तव्य एक निभाना। मन में उमंग जीतेंगे जंग ये मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग। पैरों पे खड़ा होना है अगर अनुभव से सीखेंगे बेहतर। चट्टानों सा विश्वास हमें हम कामयाब एंटरप्रेन्योर। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग।
Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy. Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy.
पैरों पे खड़ा होना है अगर अनुभव से सीखेंगे बेहतर। चट्टानों सा विश्वास हमें हम कामयाब एंटरप्रेन्योर। उत्साह के रंग बन के दबंग ले मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग। ये सोच नहीं खुद तक सीमित इस देश के प्रगति का है विजन। आर्थिक आजादी मिले हमें है ध्येय बड़ा हो परिवर्तन।
Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy. Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy.
ये सोच नहीं खुद तक सीमित इस देश के प्रगति का है विजन। आर्थिक आजादी मिले हमें है ध्येय बड़ा हो परिवर्तन। मन में मन जीतेंगे जंग ले मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग। चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग। और सब हौसले है बुलंद।
हो लाखों अरमान है और सपने नए हौसले है बुलंद
चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग
नहीं कुछ मुश्किल कर वही हासिल जो लक्ष्य हमने मन में ठाना है सोच बड़ी उस ध्येय को छूना खुद को ही अब तो हमने पहचाना है पर्पस लाइफ का जाना कर्तव्य एक निभाना मन में उमंग जीतेंगे जंग ये मन के संग
चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग
पैरों पे खड़ा होना है अगर अनुभव से सीखेंगे बेहतर चट्टानों सा विश्वास हमें हम कामयाब एंटरप्रेन्योर चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग
Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy. Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy.
पैरों पे खड़ा होना है अगर अनुभव से सीखेंगे बेहतर चट्टानों सा विश्वास हमें हम कामयाब एंटरप्रेन्योर उत्साह के रंग बन के तपन ले मन के संग
चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग चले संग संग चले संग संग चले संग संग ले मन के संग
Hello everyone, welcome. Can someone confirm in the chat box that you can hear me and see me? Just say yes in the chat box if you can hear and see me. Okay, thank you. Welcome everyone, vanakkam ellarkum. It's lovely to be here with you today uh, today to do the webinar on entrepreneurship awareness. Today we'll be talking to you about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. I'm Lakshmi Gunashekhar. I'm the manager of operations and business development at Lemon School of Entrepreneurship. With me, I have Mr. Mukesh Asher, who is the co-founder and mentor and director and mentor at Lemon School of Entrepreneurship. He will be the one who will be offering the program to you, delivering the program to you today. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. N. Raman, Principal of Kongu College of Arts and Science, to K. Palanisamy, I'm so sorry about the mistake. He's the correspondent of the Arts and Science. I would also like to welcome Dr. K. M. Kumaraguru, who is the head of Department of Commerce, and Dr. M. Jayanti, who is the IIC President and Professor of Commerce. Welcome all the dignitaries. Lovely to have you here. So let me quickly share with you the agenda for today. I will very quickly share who we are and what we do. After that, the webinar on what it takes to be an entrepreneurship will happen. Mr. Mukesh Asher will do that. And we'll have some question and answers for you to understand better if you have any. Then we'll have some feedback and I'll take a poll for the feedback and we'll have the closing. That's the agenda for today. So I would like to invite Mr. Mukesh Asher to take it further from here. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lakshmi. And I take this opportunity to welcome everyone on board this program uh, by Kongu Arts and Science College and Lemon Ideas and Lemon School of Entrepreneurship. I'm Mukesh Asher, and welcome to all of you. Well, a very interesting subject. Before that, I think I need to welcome Mr. Raman, Mr. Palaniswamy, Mr. Kumar Garu, when all the dignitaries, all the head of the departments, I mean, principal, HOD, teachers, teaching staff, who are present in this Zoom room. I welcome everybody on board this journey of what it needs to be an entrepreneur. Friends, we'll be talking for say around 60 minutes. After that, of course, I'll throw open the session for you all to ask any kind of question you have in your mind. I know entrepreneurship word is nowadays it has become like a chewing gum. So many people have kept on chewing it. We have been talking using the term entrepreneurship, whatever the way, whatever people wants to pronounce it, hardly matters. You stop 10 people onto the road and ask them, have you heard entrepreneurship? They'll say yes. Okay, can you spell entrepreneurship? People don't know how many E comes in entrepreneurship. In fact, I'm not worried at all that you need to know how many E comes in entrepreneurship. No. Where does the R is, where R is placed? Absolutely not necessary. What is necessary is not to know the spelling of entrepreneurship, but the soul, the crux of entrepreneurship. This entrepreneurship word has evolved, probably coined, say around 20 years back, maybe. Before that, this was not a word that was commonly heard or talked or discussed by people. But does it mean that entrepreneurs are born just 20 years back only? The history is full of entrepreneurs. You refer any book, any country is full of entrepreneurs. It's only that people have started coining the words which they feel happy to talk about. But entrepreneur is not basically a word. It is basically a culture. A culture which does not belong to any country. A culture which does not belong to any geography. A culture which belongs to the thought process of mankind. In fact, every human being born on this earth is and has to be an entrepreneur. Today I'll be talking to you about few things. I cannot cover entrepreneurship in 60 minutes because in 60 years it cannot be covered. How can it be covered in 60 minutes? But yes, I'll be talking about few very basic things with you. But I'm sure by the end of the session, you all will agree with me. And during the course of our discussion also, you'll keep on endorsing that, yes, this is true. Yes, this is true. And it goes that way only. Now, since last say, around 1 year, probably since last March, we are practically on Zoom only. But before that, because we are into this helping entrepreneurs grow, we are into this field since around 7 years now. It's almost 7 years. And probably, I don't remember the count, but at least 1 lakh people we must have addressed, helping them understand what is entrepreneurship. Now, when I say helping them understand entrepreneurship, does not mean I introduce them to entrepreneurship. I only make them understand this is something that is entrepreneurship and you know about it. I only raise the curtain, which was put on that domain of entrepreneurship, which was surrounding every single human being. So I'll be talking about few things which are basically what you can say, what I can say, what we understand as basic traits for anybody to be an entrepreneur, or what are the traits that are required for anybody to be an entrepreneur. Now the question is, what is entrepreneurship? Okay, chaliye. Before I get into, I hope my language is comfortable. If my language is comfortable, just say why. Just put why in the chat box. If my language is comfortable, put why in the chat box. Let me understand. I'm talking to people who are alive and agile. Okay. For Jayanti, my language is comfortable. For all others, okay. Oh, somebody said WHYY. Fine. I meant yes. Y for yes. Thank you. Fine. I got the pulse of the house. I got the pulse of the house. But whenever we are talking to people, the basic question that I prefer asking before I get into the detailed discussion is, what is entrepreneurship as per your understanding? Now, during entire course of discussion, I won't be saying this is right and this is wrong. I'm nobody to say this is wrong. We'll be only saying this is my understanding, what is your understanding? And your understanding is your understanding. It cannot be wrong. Okay, it can be appropriate, it can be less appropriate, it can be more appropriate. And it depends upon you whether to change the degree of appropriation or not. But then, as per your understanding, what is entrepreneurship? Put it in the chat box. Put in the chat box. What is entrepreneurship? What do we all understand by entrepreneurship? Chali, put in the chat box. Entrepreneurship. Okay, I'm waiting for a businessman with a new idea. Do you mean the businessman means only males or business person? Just on the lighter side. Okay. Jayanti happens to be the most proactive, the first to answer in the chat box. I'm waiting for response from worthy students of Kongu College, Erode. I have few close connects in Erode. I've been to Erode for more than, say, 3-4 times.
I just wanted to add that people watching on YouTube can also answer in the chat box. I will relay it to Mukesh, sir.
Acha, we are live on YouTube also. Okay, fine. Entrepreneurship is an act of creating a business or a businesses for creating profit, setting up a business. Okay, 2, 3, 4 people have taken the efforts to write down. Now this happens. Normally, this happens whenever you're talking to people. There are more than half of the percentage of people sitting there just because they are being told to sit there. Marathons happens, but how many people, when the marathon starts, you see 500 people, 100 people at the starting line, but just see after 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, how many people do you see? Those are the people who are really excited to do what they are being asked to do. They are not there just because they are being told that you have to be here. They are excited to do that. Now, when you say they're excited to do that, that means there are few people who feel that, yes, something is happening inside me when somebody is talking about entrepreneurship. I want to tell what I feel about entrepreneurship. There's nothing about right and wrong. It's only what you feel. It's only what you feel. Somebody is, I think, unmuted. Amit Selvi. Lakshmi?
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I just retracted the unmute option.
Okay.
I just wanted to say there's a feedback in YouTube that you need to be a little slower when you're talking. It's difficult to understand, is what the feedback I got from YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. Is it the same with my Zoom room participants also? Is it the
Please
same-
confirm if he's clear. You can say that he's clear
Okay.
on the chat
Okay.
box. If you find
Zoom room is covered. Zoom room is covered. Okay. But still, we have our audience on YouTube also. So I need to take care about them also. Anyways, whenever we are talking, understanding about entrepreneurship, 2-3 basic points that you need to understand: that entrepreneurship is not entrepreneur is not somebody who is an alien, or he has to have some special characters, or he is born with some special speciality. No, entrepreneurs are never born. Entrepreneurs are made. They themselves become entrepreneur. When I say made, they themselves make it. They themselves make themselves an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is basically a thought process, and what makes you believe that you can be an entrepreneur are a few basic traits that I'm going to talk about. Entrepreneur is businessman. You say, I say you're not wrong. Entrepreneur is somebody who creates new ideas. I won't say that it's wrong. Again, it's right. But entrepreneur is basically an individual or a company or a person who identifies a problem in society and tries to create a solution for that problem. And out of the solution, he makes some profit. If it's a commercial entrepreneurship, if it's a social entrepreneurship, he or she is not interested in making the profit. There are so many social entrepreneurship ventures going on across the globe where the objective is not to make money. But then fine, to make money is not bad. We all need money. So to make money is not bad. But making money by helping society come out of a problem is an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur. So it may be a new idea. It may not always be a new idea, because new idea is a subjective word. Something happening in your village or your town may be new to your town, but it may be very old thing in another cities. So what do you mean by new? You mean new by absolutely new? Is it an invention? For entrepreneur, he's not a scientist. He's an innovator. He tries to create something which was existing and change the form so that current social problem is solved. So this is the basic understanding about the term entrepreneurship. It may be a new idea. It may not be exactly a new idea. Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook. Now we all know Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, big entrepreneur name. I'm using this name because that is the most common name which people can very easily relate to. But then that social media platform was not the first. I don't know how many of you might have heard, but Orkut was before it, and it was good success. But Orkut was also a social media platform. So Mark Zuckerberg did not create Facebook, which was absolutely new. But yes, he studied Orkut. He tried to add few things which Orkut missed. And the user of Orkut were facing some problems which probably Facebook tried to solve it. So entrepreneur is somebody who identifies a problem in a society and creates a solution and makes money out of it. Very simple understanding. Now, what are those basic traits that I was mentioning that an entrepreneur needs to have? Allow me to share my screen. I'll show you a couple of slides. Basic, simple, nothing much on the slide. It's only for you and me to understand what is it. Just let me understand whether you're able to see my screen or not. Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? I need to see the chat box also, because now I'm on a mode where I'm not able to see the chats also. Just a minute. I'll place the chat box accordingly in such a way that I can see the chats also. Okay, so my screen is visible. Now, the ABC of entrepreneurship, the basic ABC of entrepreneurship. The first trait that any individual needs to be an entrepreneur is creators. Now, what do you see on the screen? What do you see on the screen? Can anybody put it in the chat box? What do you see in the screen? On the screen? Yes, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What do you see on the screen? Come on, I'm talking to people who are alive. A person with two faces. Okay. A known person or an unknown person? Known person or an unknown person? Can anybody try to identify what the face is on the screen? Steve Jobs. Okay. Somebody says it's Steve Jobs. Those who say Steve Jobs can say yes, 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 yes. Those who say not a Steve Jobs can put no, 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 no. Is it a Steve Jobs? Okay. So the face on the screen is Steve Jobs. Fine. It's not me. It's Steve Jobs. Now, creator. Steve Jobs is said to be a creator. He created something which ensured that he get back his position. Now, I need not tell you that Steve Jobs is the founder of Apple. Then after some time, the Apple grew big. Steve Jobs was thrown out of the Apple. He was thrown out of the Apple. Now, this is going to happen with it can happen with anybody. You may be an entrepreneur, you may not be an entrepreneur, but this can happen with anybody. You create something, you are into something, and then suddenly one fine morning, you see that you're not there. You're thrown out. But then Steve Jobs felt that somebody can throw me out of my own company which I created. They can take the company which I created, but they cannot take the creativity from inside me. When he was in his early college days, he was very fond of calligraphy. He did special courses of calligraphy. He was very fond of it. Then he said that I have something inside me which I can create beauty out of it. And he started creating something which ultimately happened to become a big company. And that company was again the part of Apple. And that through that door, Steve Jobs got into Apple again. And then he came at the helm of the affairs. And then rest is the history. So somebody can take entire fortune of your life. But then that person cannot take creativity out of you. Just cannot. If you have that guts inside you that you can do something, you have that feel inside you. That is enough for any human being to be a creator. I'll take you to your early school days. How many of you have been to school or maybe nursery? I presume everybody. In your early nursery days, or maybe class 1 or LKG, whatever you term it, remember those days when you were in your classroom and your teacher gave you some material and you started creating something, maybe in first standard or whatever standard you were. But then you created some beautiful, maybe thermocol or maybe cardboard sheet or maybe chart paper. You created a house sort of thing. And then mounted it on a big board. That was something that you did. And you carried it in your school bus or maybe rickshaw, whatever you traveled with, way back to your home. You went to your home. Entire craft that you created in your hand was in your hand. You created was in your hand. You took it to your home. You showed it to your parents, and then you forced your parents to create a special space in the drawing room, and keep it there. You forced your parents to remove that showpiece and keep it there. Believe you me, that was the most horrible creation as far as your parents' understanding or the decor of the house was concerned. But for you, it was the best creation, and you wanted that creation to be at the best place in your house. The only reason you wanted it to be that way because you created it. And now, slowly, when you start growing, the moment you finish your journey from class 1 to class 5, your creativity goes down. Class 5 to class 8, your creativity still goes down. Class 8 to undergraduate, maybe first year, second year, your creativity still goes down. And finally, when you graduate, you do your PhD, your creativity goes to 0 level. That's just the bottom. Now people say, how can you, just imagine, you all are from Erode. So many of you might have visited Chennai also, or any sea beach, anywhere. Just imagine the current situation. When you were kids, we used to go to beaches and make the sand castles. And what we used to do? We used to do every beautiful thing and creative thing in those sand castles. And then we used to label, we used to put the flag on the top of it, and I am the king or I am the queen of this castle. And what now? Can you imagine yourself going onto the sea beach and creating that castle again, making the castle again? You'll feel, oh, come on, I'm grown up now. This is a childish thing. It doesn't look good. For doing something creative, why do you want your age to come in between? That guy from Jagannath Puri is a sand artist, world-renowned sand artist. What is he doing? He's creating something on the beach only. Isn't it enough for us to understand that creativity has no age limit? We are forcing our age, our education, our qualification, our degree on our creativity and spoiling ourselves. Entrepreneur needs to be creator. You had that creator inside you. You proved your creativity in class 1 or nursery. But now how many people are ready to bring that creator out? We put the covers of our education, our degree, our qualification, and no, I cannot do it. Go back to your home. You might be having a small brother, a small sister, or a niece, or a nephew. See how he or she plays with you. You take something in your plate to eat, and suddenly he or she picks up and says, "This is an umbrella. This is an umbrella." He picks up maybe a jackfruit chip and says, "This is an umbrella of the shape. It's this shape." Can you do it? But if somebody is creative, they can surely do it. You had that creativity, but bring it out. We have pushed it down. Bring it out. We all have. I am creative, you are creative, and entrepreneur needs to be creative. Moving on. Let me move on to the next slide. What does it say? What else does an entrepreneur need? Entrepreneur needs the power for experimentation, an inclination towards experimentation. Tell me, what was the experiment that you did in last? Just think, ask yourself. Since we are on virtual platform, we cannot do much of discussion here. Otherwise, when I'm into my physical program, I do this session for 2.5 hours. It's full of discussion. What was the experiment that you did in maybe last 2 months, 3 months? Or if you're not a science student, maybe in last 1 year. Because nowadays, it's common understanding that experiments are subject to the stream that you choose. If it's a science student, he or she keeps on doing experiment. What is experiment to do with arts or commerce? My dear friend, experiments are experiments. And anybody has the courage to do the experiment. We all have that scientist within us. Go back to your 7th standard or 6th standard. When I was in 7th standard, I did it. You might be in 6th standard or 5th standard. You must have your first visit to the chemistry laboratory. My teacher told me, "Mukesh, this is the test tube. Fine. This is the beaker. This is the pipette. The different gadgets and instruments that we use in the chemistry lab, made up of glass, different shapes." And then I was being told to take some liquid from that long burette into the conical flask. And then my teacher told me, "Mukesh, this is the pipette." I'm using the terms because those are the terms that always fascinate me. This is a pipette. Take one drop from this bottle and add that drop into the flask where you poured that liquid. It was colorless liquid. It was colorless liquid in another bottle. I took a drop and I poured that drop into the conical flask which contained the liquid which I took from burette. My God! Something happened. And the colorless liquid, when I put a drop into it, it turned pink. Amazing. I've done wonderful. I felt that it's a eureka moment for me. It was Einstein the other day, and now it's Mukesh Ashar. He was a scientist, and I become a scientist. It's a different story that just a batch before me did the same experiment there on the same table. But I was not worried. I was only interested in the feeling that joy inside me when I turned that colorless liquid into pink. That is the power of experimentation. If you keep on doing experiments, you will keep on getting that feeling of joy inside you. I have done something great. It is the proved experiment. Later on, I understood that's a proved experiment. Anybody who does this is going to happen. It was only for our learning, but that is all secondary. What is primary is that I felt extremely joyful and happy when I did that experiment. Who stops you from experimenting? Don't you remember when you came back from your school long back and then you asked your mother, "Mom, do we have carrot in our house?" Mom gave you the carrot from the fridge. You sliced the top crown of the carrot and then you took a small steel dish, filled the dish with water and put that carrot crown into it and kept it on the window of the kitchen and waited every day to see if something is happening on the carrot crown. Just go back into the flashback and imagine what was the joy that you felt when you saw that crown shooting out of it. The germination was happening. Then you had that carrot, maybe small bush of carrot, a small plant. Wasn't it joyful? Every experiment is joyful. Whatever result you get. But keep on experimenting, yeah. You don't need a special degree to keep on experimenting in life. I mean, every day, if you're coming to college through one route, regular road, do some experiment, change the road, start 10 minutes early, take another route. You might not know how much time it's going to take. It's quite possible that you might get late to the college or you might get late to the place you want to go. Have enough time with you. So what if you can reach 10 minutes early? Start half an hour early. You might see something which you've never seen. You might come across an experience which you've never had. Don't be afraid of experimenting things like life. Yeah. Come on. Because experimentation is one beautiful trait that is required by every entrepreneur. Because if you're not a person who is ready to experiment, how can you create something? Then only repetition, then you become a businessman. You cannot become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur keeps on experimenting. He keeps on experimenting. Okay, so this is the second trait. Now moving on to the third trait. Now this is something that normally say, we don't want to become entrepreneur just because this. Am I going okay? If I'm going okay, just say yes or why. If you want me to change my pace, I'm going okay, fine, that's great. Allow me a sip. Fine. How many of you are afraid of taking risk in life? How many of you are afraid of taking risk in life? Be honest, be honest. I always admire people who are honest because everybody cannot do everything in world. And is not made for it also. How many of you are afraid in life of taking risk? If you are, just put me. If anybody is afraid of taking risk in life, just put me. Anybody afraid of taking risk? Okay. One. I have actually 4 or 5 names who are active on the chat box. How many participants do we have? We have 63 participants. Okay. And 4 are active. 60 people have logged in and they are busy doing something else. We are trying to create entrepreneurs. We are trying to make people understand what it is to be an entrepreneur. Now, when we say that I'm afraid of taking risk, I understand this is in relevance to your understanding about entrepreneurship. Because if you try to do something and if it doesn't click, what will happen? Come on, but understand the risk first. Life is full of risk, whether you accept it, whether you believe it or not. I am sitting here right in my cabin. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting on a chair and a table. There is always a risk of chair breaking down the chair. I may fall. My head may hurt. I may have the strong. Maybe I may put in a problem. I may get into a deep problem. I'm sitting here. I have a fan in my ceiling on my overhead. Something may happen and a fan may fall on my head. It's a big risk. I may get up and I may fumble and I may fall down. I can have a brain hemorrhage. Risk is always there. I sit in my car and before I start my car, somebody comes and smashes me from behind. I'm not ready. I may get hurt. The risk is always there. Where is it not? You move out, something may fall. You move out, you may fall. You move out, something may hit you. You move out, you may hit somebody. Risk is always there. But still we keep on doing because we see everybody else is doing. Why do we wait for everybody else to make us understand since they are doing, we can also do? Why can't I do? Of course, I don't mean to say that you should become blind and keep on crossing the road because life is full of risk. But we can always take calculated risk. Just see what can happen. What can be the worst situation? And based on that, you can always plan, replan, and do it. But don't stop yourself from taking risk. Be it entrepreneurship, be it anything in the life. What will be at the risk at the most? You start something of your own. If you stop people on the road and say, do you have any idea that can become a big business? I am sure every single gentleman or a lady or a person you come across may have not less than 5 ideas that can become business. I'm not saying new ideas or actually great ideas. I'm just talking. They have that idea. It's only that they don't have the capacity to take risk and convert that idea into reality. You take it. What is at the stake? At the most 10, 50,000 rupees. You can always do that experiment. Okay, let me try. Take that risk. But entrepreneurs are those people who are ready to take risk. And unless and until you are ready to take risk, you cannot become big. Who was the first person to climb the Mount Everest? Anybody? Can you put in the chat box? Who was the first person to climb the Mount Everest? I'm talking to you all guys. The first person to climb the Mount Everest. Oh, it's not in a syllabus? Who was the first person to climb the Mount Everest? See, I'm talking to you. I need responses from your side. Don't know, sir. Okay. Anybody? Edmund Hillary. Edmund Hillary. He was a New Zealand guy. Now, when somebody climbs the Mount Everest, is he not taking the risk? But unless that doesn't mean that he never knew mountaineering in the first attempt he climbed Mount Everest. No. He did lots of practice in mountaineering, did lot of experiments on by climbing different peaks in the world, and finally he took the chance of climbing the Mount Everest. And whether you know it or don't, I don't know. But then once he was almost at the verge of reaching the Mount Everest, the climate changed and it was horrible storm. The entire team felt that it's not fair to reach the mountain, to go to Mount Everest now. We need to go back. And they had to climb back again. They had to come back again. And that time, Edmund Hillary stood there facing Mount Everest. Edmund says, Everest, you are mountain. You will remain the same. But I'm human being. I'm Edmund, human being. And I'm growing. Next time when I come, I'll be more prepared. And I'm going to conquer you. This was the dialogue used by Edmund Hillary, because he knew I'm taking the risk, but I'm also calculating what needs to be done. And he climbed the Mount Everest, and rest is the history. Can anybody name the first person who landed on the moon? Who landed on the moon? Who was the first person to land on the moon? Anybody? The first person to land on the moon? Come on, you need to know this. This is the common things. If you know this, I'm happy. If you don't know, I'll be happy to share it with you. Anybody? Neil Armstrong. Beautiful. Neil Armstrong. Okay, great. Neil Armstrong. Fine. Yes, wonderful. Now, beautiful story goes behind the Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, along with him, there was an person named by Eddie Edward. And one more person. These three were in the spacecraft, in that ship. And when it landed onto the moon, Eddie and Neil Armstrong were the two people who were there in that rover. Earlier, Armstrong was not supposed to land on the moon first. It was Eddie who was supposed to land on the moon first. And the command from NASA said, okay, step on to the moon. Step on to the surface. The Eddie had that anxiety in him. Oh my God, what will happen? I'm landing on the alien surface. I don't know how it will behave. So he slightly hesitated. But the calculation says that time was enough for one person to land, and the command came next. And that was for Neil Armstrong. Eddie stopped and Armstrong stepped, and rest is history. You don't know who was the person supposed to land on the first, but that Eddie was slightly hesitant in taking the risk, and Neil Armstrong took that risk, and he landed on the moon first. Rest is all the history. So you need to understand that risk is an essential element for a human being to grow. And if I understand that, I'll be ready to take risk. I'll do my study, but then I won't be afraid of taking risk. Fine. Moving ahead. Ideas. I hope you're able to see the picture on the screen. It's full of ideas that you and me are fascinated by, the current generation is fascinated by. There's a Flickr and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and whatnot. All the names that you know are there on the screen. When I tell people, see, these are the ideas that you know, then why can't you have? The common answer I get from people is, sir, see the magnitude of those ideas. Where do I have the courage and the capacity to create so big ideas? My dear friend, a simple question. Was Facebook born so big? Was YouTube born so big? Whatever you see, do you say that the banyan tree, so big banyan tree, is born so big? Nothing is born big. Everything becomes big over the time, but everything is born small. An idea is always like a seed. It is small. It's only how you help, how you nurture, how you take care about that seed depends how big it will grow. How big it will grow. You can see that seed germinates this much, and then you stop taking care. You leave it in the sun, peak summer, it will die. You don't show in the sun, put all water into it, full water flooded, it will die. You need to take proper care. Every idea is a small idea. So don't put yourself into a position where you say, sir, I have a very ordinary idea. Sir, I don't have very special idea. My idea is very ordinary. Every idea is ordinary idea. Your efforts make it extraordinary. So don't ever underestimate your idea. Idea can change life. Now don't say that I don't have idea. Then go get idea. Because idea is something which comes to every human being. Whether you sit on your study table or you sit on the commode, you keep on getting ideas. But at times we have switched off the mode where ideas can easily be processed. It comes, it goes. It comes, it goes. It comes, it goes. But if you take intentional effort to switch on the mode where the idea that comes starts processing, gets filtered and starts processing, probably you will start working on few things that attracts you, that excites you. Idea is always small. Don't go on the size of the idea. Go on your capacity to build the size of that idea. Then capacity can always be built up. Capacity building can be done at any time. But everything starts small. Everything starts small. When you start small, you have a smaller risk. So that is how it goes. When you start small, you have a smaller risk. If you say that I have a beautiful idea, so for that idea, I need to manufacture this. This is something that I can manufacture. I have a wonderful concept about this. Okay, then do it. So, but to manufacture this, I need to put up an industry, manufacturing industry. Now that industry will cost me 50 crore of rupees. Finish. You have no capacity to take that risk of 50 crore rupees. So that your idea in your mind will remain in your mind. And my dear friend, every idea has got a shelf life. We come across so many entrepreneurs, we come across so many budding entrepreneurs who come to us for different type of mentoring also, or different programs. They are participant with us. Slowly after the program is over and then we are sitting there for one-to-one, they come to us, sir, I have an idea. Okay, then why did you share when I asked you? Sir, I did not want to share idea in front of everyone. Why? Sir, somebody may steal my idea. Isn't it stupid thought? Somebody may steal your idea. Do you have the monopoly of your idea? Idea can be anybody's. Your monopoly can be your execution. Your monopoly cannot be your idea. Okay, then what do you want to do about the idea? So it's a very powerful concept. Okay, then when do you want to start working on an idea? Sir, I'm in the first year, I'm in first year engineering. Okay, then Sir, in 3 more years, I'll finish my engineering. Okay, then, sir, after that, since I'm doing my engineering, I need to do my master's. My parents want me to do master's. Okay, then, so sir, 2 more years of master's. Okay, then 6 years. Sir, once I finish my master, I'll start working on my idea. Okay, till then, I'll keep that idea with me. I relate it to the situation. You take a sandwich and keep it in your bag, and you come to your college daily. Don't open the sandwich, somebody else will see and take it. So you don't open the sandwich. It is there packed in the polythene. And you don't eat on Monday, you don't eat on Tuesday. Why? Because you know that after 15 days you are going to feel hungry. That day your parents are going out, so you won't be able to bring tiffin. So that after 15 days you may require it, and you bought that sandwich today and kept it in your bag wrapped in polythene. What will happen to the sandwich after 15 days when you open it? It will be full of fungus, because sandwiches have got shelf life. You can use at the most not later than 24 hours. Why 24 hours? It needs to be used in 3-4 hours, 5 hours. Otherwise, it becomes stale. It may harm your health. Same way, ideas also have a shelf life. If you cannot do it, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. Somebody will do it. Ultimately, entrepreneurs are solving a society problem. If you don't have the capacity to execute that idea, get associated with somebody who has the capacity to execute that idea. You put your idea, he will put his execution. Both of you form a team and create your entrepreneurial venture. But don't keep your idea with you. It's not your property. It's a society's property. Because you don't know your idea may help society come out of a big problem. We had been doing a special program with entrepreneurs who are working on a concept around COVID. We had 30 entrepreneurs. We did 2 months program with them, because their ideas had something which was helping people in this tough times. Something related to COVID, they have solutions, and they're doing good. So don't keep your idea inside your bag just like a sandwich. I'll be using it after 6 years. After 6 years, that idea will be absolutely irrelevant, because times are changing very fast. So you need to understand, ideas are ideas. They are small, they are important, they are useful when they come to your mind, not when you are comfortable of executing it. Entrepreneurs should have the spirit of job creation and not job seeking. My country does not need job seekers anymore. Enough of job seekers. My country is facing the problem of unemployment. An entrepreneur needs to bring out my country out of the problem by creating a venture where he or she can hire people or give them jobs. Who say that I'm unemployed, please help me. Unemployed, please help me. I'm unemployed, please help me. My country doesn't want those kind of people. They are in fact a weight on this earth. I need to create something which will reduce this weight and help them get the job. Instead of sitting and cribbing over the current situation, jobs are lost, jobs are gone, jobs are gone. There are people who have created ventures and they are doing wonderful. How many of you had heard this name called as a Zoom a year back or before that? None of you. And see how common this Zoom is. Now don't tell that this pandemic has stopped everybody working. People are working. You need to find out what suits in this situation. Start working on it. Job creation, social impact, a big social impact. Entrepreneurs are those people who can offer job to people instead of waiting in a queue to get a job. They make people queue in front of their outlet or venture and give them job. It may be 2 people you offer job, but you are reducing the burden on India by offering job to 2 people. This gentleman, Sam Walton, creator of Walmart, is the biggest job employer private entity in the world. You'll be shocked and surprised to know that this workforce working with Walmart is 2.3 million. When I say 2.3 million, that is 23 lakh people are working in Walmart across the globe. It's the biggest employer, private employer in the world. I'm not talking about the government entities. I'm talking about the private employer. Now, isn't it a social impact created? Those who, in spite of all the efforts by people like Mukesh Asher or like organizations like Lemon, They still want to do job. These are the kind of entrepreneurs who are helping them fulfill their need. Okay, bhai, if you want to do job, come with me. But everybody should have that kind of feeling inside. Instead of working for somebody, I will create something of my own and I'll offer job to 2 people at least. God be with you. You offer 20, you offer 200, you offer 2,000, and maybe 20 lakh, like Sam Walton is doing. So entrepreneurship will and should have that social impact element into it. One more social impact. Can you identify what is this? Any idea? Put it fast. Any idea what is this? Any idea what is this? Or who is this? Of course, I've written the name, Jimmy Wales. But can you relate this Jimmy Wales? I'm sure you'll know if I spell the next word. Just look at the logo. Can you identify? Any wild guess? Beautiful, beautiful. Wikipedia, amazing. I'm happy. See, you all know everything. The problem is that at times we feel, should I tell or should I not? I may be wrong. You are never wrong. This is what you knew. Okay, everybody is not expected to know everything, but I'm happy that you know this thing. This is Wikipedia. Now, this gentleman called Jimmy Wales created a platform, Wikipedia, where people don't have to pay to get the correct information. And this is the most authentic of any platform available for any kind of a search over the web. The most authentic. The information on Wikipedia is supposed to be the most authentic in comparison to all the platforms where you get any kind of a news. And this Wikipedia doesn't charge you anything to get any information. Now, where does this get this kind of information? The people who put information onto this, they are charging. Because there are few people who have their bread and butter, who earn their bread and butter by writing the blogs over certain things. But then there are also people who are paying them to write the blog on the Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not paying anybody. Wikipedia has to run its institution. For that also they need money. But there are so many people in this world who are helping them out of the CSR activity to flourish, to see that Wikipedia flourishes. And in turn, they are helping people like you and me to get the maximum correct information out of the platform called the Wikipedia. Purely social impact. I mentioned in the beginning, you create something which you may not use to earn money, but you may use to help society to solve certain problem of theirs. This is example of social impact, or maybe social entrepreneurship, you can say that for that matter. So Jimmy Wales, a creator of Wikipedia. You need to identify what is the problems around you. What is the problem surrounding your society, my society. I may talk about so many examples worldwide, but then how does it affect your and my life in my society? What is the problem in Erode? What is the problem in my locality? What is the problem in the apartment where I live? I need to solve that problem first. Instead of solving a problem, global problem, I need to solve the local problem first. Because that is the first step towards becoming an acceptable entrepreneur which is accepted by society. So this is something that came to mind of few people, and they felt that small idea can make big difference. A very small idea. Again, I go back to the word that I used in the earlier side. Idea is always a small. Don't go on to the size of the idea. Go on to the size of your capacity to convert that idea into big venture. It can make big difference. Small ideas can make big difference. What is it? Do you know these people? Can anybody name these people on the screen? Can anybody name? Okay, write on the name on the screen. If you can identify. I know 3, 4 are easy. Maybe 4th or 5th slightly tough. 3 are very easy. 4th is slightly tough. And 5th one maybe a little more tough. But then you can always put a guess. Mark Zuckerberg, beautiful. Bill Gates, wonderful. Okay. One is the name we already mentioned earlier. Steve Jobs, great. Okay. Now, this is Mark Zuckerberg. This is Bill Gates. This is Steve Jobs. What about this guy? I hope you can see my cursor moving around somebody's face. This guy. Come on, where do you go to get any kind of information? No, Jeff Bezos is like me. Jeff Bezos is like me. Jeff Bezos has no hair on the head. Jeff Bezos is just like me. Where do you go to get the information? The most common platform to go and get the information. Larry Page, wonderful. This is the Larry Page, founder of Google. This is the Larry Page, founder of Google. And what about this? You and me are day in and day out using the service created by this gentleman. We know the service people, but unfortunately we don't know the person who created the service. Come on, what is the social media platform that you are using the maximum in today's life? What is it that you're using maximum today? Ooh. Go on. What is the platform that you're using maximum in today's life? WhatsApp. This is Jane Don, founder of WhatsApp. So these are the people, they are different breed. They are absolutely different breed. But where am I? I need to do something. Now, I'm not talking about you become somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, somebody like Steve Jobs, somebody like Larry Page. They have done their work. Now they are history. But my responsibility is to make my country in Atmanirbhar Bharat. And for that, I need to create something of our own, something made in India, something made for India, something made by India. And that is where this gentleman thought. They identified a very common problem. Plastic is the most common problem that mankind is facing, especially my country is facing, and that too, your particular city might be facing, because there is nobody who is untouched by this problem. This gentleman. Now, do you see the face, and can you say that this gentleman is like Amitabh Bachchan, this gentleman like Salman Khan? I'm using the Hindi Bollywood name because I'm more familiar to it. I'm not familiar with the Tollywood stars. So please excuse me for that matter, but I'm using the names which most of you might be knowing. He doesn't have the face of a film star. Nor does he have the face of a big celebrity. But he is no less than a celebrity. Because we all have been in habit of using the plastic cutlery. Now, plastic cutlery, that is plastic spoons, plastic forks. It is equally fatal. It is bad. It's not good to eat by the plastic spoons. This gentleman, what he did? Bakey's edible cutlery. Now he created edible cutlery. You eat with a spoon and then you eat the spoon. Isn't it amazing? But yes, he did it that way. What happened is, this guy is from Andhra, Telangana now. Earlier Andhra, now Telangana. But he was traveling from Ahmedabad to Hyderabad. He was traveling, and when he sat in the flight, he got comfortable. And after say 10 minutes of flight, suddenly he saw a lady sitting across the row. He saw that lady and he got slightly surprised because that lady did not buy any food item from the trolley that waitress, hostess was selling. Instead, she took out a tiffin from the bag. She was a Gujarati lady, boarded from Ahmedabad, and she opened the tiffin, and then he saw that it was like rice. You can say biryani, veg biryani. Of course, there's a Guju lady, veg biryani, veg pulao, something of that sort. It was a rice item. And then what did she took out was a hard roti. It is called as a khakra. I don't know how many of you know that term khakra. It is a hard roti. Roti is the roti, but it's a hard roti. So she took out that hard roti khakra, took a bite of it, a piece of it, and then used it as a spoon to eat the rice. She was eating the rice with that khakra, piece of khakra. And then when she finished the part she wanted to eat, what did she do? She ate that piece of khakra. There, sitting in that flight, this guy got an idea. If this khakra can be used to eat something and then it can be eaten, means there is no need to throw it out. Why can't I do something which can be used to eat and then it can be eaten? So there is no need to throw out, because till that time, either you are using your own steel spoon And if you don't want to carry your own cutlery, you have to use the plastic cutlery. Then he said, fine, I'll start working on it. And he created this Bakey's edible cutlery. Now this is amazing concept. This gentleman is Narayan Pisapati. What is the tagline? Eat with it and then eat it. Now you get various flavors for the spoon. You get lasagna, the garlic flavor. You get tulsi, you get ajwain flavor of spoons you want. He has got all female staff, rural area female staff, unskilled workers. He hired around 50-60 ladies are working in the factory to create that edible cutlery. Isn't it a small step towards solving the problem of the plastic that normally people are facing? But we say, oh, what can I do, Mama? In my home, I'm using steel cutlery. But if I travel outside, where do I get the steel cutlery? Best is disposable. For you, it is easy. For by Mother Earth, it is bad. This gentleman felt it. When will we feel it? One more gentleman. Okay, let me introduce you to this young gentleman. He was a slightly aged guy, the young gentleman. A very young gentleman. I don't know, few of you might read it also. Few of you might have heard it also. The same problem, plastic, which you and me are constantly facing and talking about it. But still we are using the plastic. He said, come on here, enough is enough. I can say people don't use plastic, but then they will ask me, then what should we use? Use paper bag. Fine, I'll use paper bag. But what to do if I want to get a tea into it? What to do if I want to get a sugarcane juice into it? What to do if I want to get something liquid into it? I have no choice but to use the plastic. He said, don't worry, I am there. I'll help it out. And he created something which is called the Envy Green, a tribute to Mother Earth. A plastic type of a material which can be used to make carry bags, but not a plastic. It can be used to make carry bag. You carry liquid into it, and it is so organic or so nature friendly that you can put it in the glass of water. After a certain time, it melts into the water, and even you can drink water. It won't be of harm. It is purely made of starch. You and me knew what starch is, but we never thought how to use that starch in solving the problem of society. He's making big money out of it. Now he's put a factory in Bangalore also. A lot of export is happening from his factory. But then this is something what you and me can. Now he's not a special guy. He doesn't have 2 thorns here or 2 teeth like this or some special kind of a 4 or 5 ears or a big brain. No, he's just like you and me. But he had that, he opened the eye that all of us have, but probably we don't acknowledge that eye through which we can see the problem around. Everybody is having so many problems around us in society, or a place he lives, or a place he travels, or a place he goes, or a place he studies, wherever, whatever. Problems are always there, and the problems are waiting for the right person to come and get it solve it. So these are the people. Is Aswatha Hedge. You can Google it. You'll get all the information about these persons who have done wonderful tasks. Envy Green edible bags. I showed you those 5 pictures. Larry Page, John Lane, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Mark Zuckerberg. Whose picture should be here? There's one photograph which is going to be the talk of the world in times to come. Whose picture should be here? When I ask this question to people whom I'm talking to, most of them, they say, sir, my picture should be there. But believe you me, there is no software in the world till now which can put your picture directly into this slide. To ensure that you get your picture in this slide, you have to travel through all the slides above. You need to take risks. You need to do experimenting constantly. You need to be the creator and bring out your creativity. You need to create that kind of social impact. You need to make people believe that you are working for the benefit of the society. You need to make people believe that you are there to help them get that kind of a job which they are facing problem of. You need to make people believe. You need to make people believe, you need to make society believe that yes, you are there to solve that problem. If this happens, you don't need to put your photograph here. Your photograph will automatically slide from above slides and come here. Quite possible in maybe 5 years from now, I'll be doing a program somewhere and I'll be talking about few people of different breed. Who knows, your photograph might be there. So don't wait for somebody else to come and push you. Gone are the days of those scooters who needed kick. Those scooters needed kick. Bajaj Super, Vijay Super, all those scooters needed kick. Now is this world of self-start. These self-start scooters create at least noise also, but now time is changing of silent movement. Electric vehicle passes by you and you don't know it has passed by you, but it's helping people commute easily. So should be your cause. Try and work out what you can do. Part of your entrepreneurship journey, you, Lemon School of Entrepreneurship to an entrepreneur. We are committed to help people identify the entrepreneur inside them, nurture that entrepreneur, bring it out, and then hand it over to society. Now, this is the property of my country. Entrepreneur is a property of the country. Don't wait for yourself to graduate and then get a job and then work for lifelong and toil yourself for somebody else. Do something for yourself. You have a lot of life in front of you. Let your country feel proud of you. Wishing you all the very best and making you believe that your idea deserves a chance. It was a great opportunity for me to talk to you all. I always feel happy when I'm talking to youth because that is something where the future of my country lies. It's no point talking to people of my age because they say, sir, we have lived our age. Now we want to relax. Okay, relax. But they can only relax when your age is thriving hard. And when I say thriving hard, I don't mean to say toil hard for somebody else. When I say thriving hard, means they're trying to do something which will make India the best country in the world, which will bring India to actual position where it belongs, which is its right. So it's my responsibility. It's not the responsibility of government to create jobs. It is our responsibility to create jobs and help India become a better place to live. It was great to interact with you. I, on behalf of Lemon, should thank for the opportunity that we have got from the Kongu College of Arts and Science. I believe every student here should think of entrepreneurship as a career and not just entrepreneurship as a course to attend. Looking forward to get few entrepreneurs from this group. I close my session here and I open it for question and answer. Anybody who wants to ask any kind of question can put it in the chat box, and Lakshmi will surely put that question in front of me, and I'll try to answer it. Thank you very much. Over to Lakshmi, if you've got any questions.
So we have the first question. So how much should I capitalize my business with at the beginning?
I didn't get it. Come back again.
So how should I, or how much should I start capitalizing my business idea right at the beginning?
Do you mean to say that the question is that how much money should I put at the beginning to start my business? Is it the question?
How much should I start capitalizing my idea right at the beginning?
Your idea needs a systematic approach so that it can be converted into a reality. See, there are two different phases in entrepreneurship. One is idea and one is converting idea into reality. You must have seen auto expos. Now there are few vehicles in the auto expos which are called as a concept vehicle. Now those concept vehicles are concept for this particular age when they are being shown, but probably few of them may get converted into reality in the times to come. And there are few vehicles which are destined to be launched in a year or two. So your idea is a concept. Now we have to verify the viability, the monetary involvement into it, the acceptability by society. Based on all those parameters, this idea can be converted to reality. Then we have to decide, is this the time? Is this the place? Who needs it? You may be living in a town called as the Chennai, a big town, and your problem that you're trying to solve is a problem of a rural area. So it's no point doing it here. You need to relocate. So there are so many factors into it, but it needs to start right now. It does not require much money. Nobody in this world can stop becoming an entrepreneur just by the need of money. Not at all. Money will flow. Question.
Okay. We have another question. what are the qualifications for a person?
I'm not able to get it.
So, what are the qualifications for a person to run a company as the head of the company?
Okay. The question is, if I understood it right, what are the qualifications for a person to run a company and becoming an entrepreneur? Is this the question?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me tell you, there are very important qualifications required, and probably none of the university in the world is offering those qualifications because God has already equipped you with those qualifications. You only have to the strong zeal inside you and full belief on yourself that yes, I can do it. You go back into the history and try to find out, try to Google, try to read the best of the entrepreneurs, the best of the creators in the world are, and I'm not undermining the importance of studies. It is going to help you do it fast. But then to become an entrepreneur, you need not wait for your qualification to be over. Once I become graduate, once I become postgraduate, once I finish my master's, once I do my PhD, God knows what will be the need then. I said, if you have the sandwich here, eat it now. Because now also it will help you fill your stomach. No qualification required except your strong zeal inside and belief on yourself. These are the two things that are required as a qualification to run the business. Okay, whatever else is required, you can always get people to help you. You may not be good in finance. I'm not good in finance. Absolutely not good in finance. But I know if I need somebody, I can take a professional help. As simple. Okay.
We have a quest. We have a couple of people commenting that I have an idea which is very unique, but I need investment. How do I go about it?
Okay. Now this is something I respect. I respect your feeling. But then this is something that 9 out of 10 people have. Why do you need investment? Why do you need investment? And if you say investment, have you put a figure to that term investment? How much investment do you need? Then people say, sir, we need 10 lakh rupees. Where do you need 10 lakh rupees? Sir, this is an idea we want to convert it. Okay, do a trial. Whether this is viable or not, whether this is accepted by society or not. Have you tried it? Sir, I have not tried it. Why? Sir, where do I get money? How much money do you need? You need 10,000 rupees to experiment. Now, come on, don't tell me that you cannot spend 10,000 rupees on realizing your dream. You can spend 50,000 rupees on a simple mobile, which you can also do the same work by the mobile of 5,000 rupees. But you want 40,000 rupees mobile. And you said, I cannot spend 10,000 rupees. Start. See, nobody on this earth is going to invest on your idea if you've not invested your money. When I say your money, you save it from your pocket money. You use your money, it may be 10,000, 20,000. If you come and tell me, sir, I had 20,000, my friend had 20,000. We have invested 40,000 and created this and have sold. And we have made 4,000 rupees profit. Somebody like me will think, wow, 40,000 invested out of their own pocket and made 4,000 profit out of it. That means idea is good. Let me support. Okay, I can say, fine. Okay, let me study. I'm ready to invest 2 lakh rupees. This way money comes. If you say, I have idea, give me money. Who is going to give you money on your idea? Nobody. At the most, he will say, okay, you give me your idea and take this money and go. We don't want to do it. I want to be part of it. I don't want to make money off my idea. I want to earn the respect and the reputation out of the solution that I create. So you invest your money first, maybe 5,000, 10,000, whatever you have. There are ways and means to do it. We do that only. We do special mentoring session and helping understand people where to put money and how much to money. Some few things can be done in 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees and experiment it and we get the result, whether to put more money or not to put more money. What changes need to be done so that this money is saved? There are ways and means to do it. There is a scientific approach to it. So no, don't worry about investment. Once you show the results, investment will flow.
So we have a question. Can you specify the do's and don'ts of a business at the beginning stage?
Do's and don'ts of the business at the beginning stage. Okay. Do's, commit yourself. Be responsible for all your acts that you do, and have the clear-cut idea of what you are doing and why you're doing. Unless and until your why is clear in your mind. Suppose you say, sir, I am offering this service. Now, what is the service? So I am offering a tea service. I've created a special kind of a tea outlet. Why do you want to do it? Sir, just because I like tea. Then you drink it. Why do you want to create a tea outlet? Sir, because I've selected a place where people have to travel 1.5 kilometers to get good tea. And when they're sitting in their office and when they call for tea, they have to wait for 35 minutes to get good tea in the office. How can a client sit in the office just for the tea for 35 minutes? So I've created a tea outlet at a place where I have at least 1,000 people who are ready to take my service. Have you tried? Yes, sir. Have you offered them free chai? Sir, how can I do it? Okay, put 2,000 rupees and put a stall there, temporary stall, and put a banner. I'm offering tea free today, and see how many people call you. That is the way we normally do. So do this, have strong belief, be committed, be responsible, have your why in your mind clear, then how will become easy. And don't take your customer lightly. Don't ever neglect the activity that you do. Don't ever undermine the activity that you're doing. I'm earning money, but see, chai wala, I don't want to call myself as a chai wala. I don't want to be termed as a chai wala. Unless and until you feel proud about it, probably it won't happen ever. Then don't do it. Then simply don't do it. But if you want to do it, don't undermine the activity that you're doing. You're doing it with pure intentions. You're doing it to help people. They will love your service. So do's and don'ts. Simple. Okay. Anything else?
Can an uneducated person become an entrepreneur?
Why not? I said there is no particular type of a qualification required for an entrepreneur except the strong zeal inside and the commitment and belief in yourself that yes, I'm going to do it, come what may. I said education system came 100 years back, but we had so many entrepreneurs who were not otherwise formally educated. I don't mean to say India is a country of high rich culture, but then formal education came 100, 200 years back. Before also we had entrepreneurs. We had big businessmen who were doing great. It requires zeal. Your education may help you. Do it in a faster way. Do it in a better way. Do it in a professional way. Do it in such a way that your customer understands. If you're an uneducated person, you cannot create flyers. You cannot create social media campaigns. But if you are educated or a learned or a modern age man, you can do it yourself. Initially, to save money. Or else you have to take help of somebody and pay it first. That is loosening your pocket at the very beginning. That is costing you. So your education, your awareness of current scenario can help you reduce that expense. Yes.
So I have this question here. I'll try to rephrase it. They're asking how much is it necessary to choose entrepreneurship in your own career line? Like, I think maybe they're asking, is it necessary to choose entrepreneurship in your career line? Is that the best way to go about a career? Is the question, I think.
See, asking this question to somebody like Mukesh Ashar, the expected answer should always be yes, 100%. But let me be more diplomatic, or let me be more simple in putting a simple phrase in front of you. How important is it for you to contribute in nation building? My simple question. The answer normally that I will get is, if I am a citizen of India, it is 100% my responsibility to contribute in national development or nation development. Simply, you've given the answer. By becoming an entrepreneur, point number one, you're helping society to come out of a problem. Now, I need not tell you that it is important for you to do it. Point number two, you're helping country come out of the problem of unemployment by giving employment to at least 2 people. Yes, the answer is given. It is necessary. Number three, why should you work for somebody else and then have that regret at the end of the life? I wanted to do something of my own. We keep on meeting people who, after serving a big corporate for 20, for 15 years, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 12 years, and getting salary. I need not 6 figure, 7 figure salary. And then say, sir, I'm done. Arey Baba, you are still only 35 or 38 and you say you're done. Sir, I'm burnt out. Then, sir, I'm leaving the job and I want to do something of my own. What do you want to do? Sir, anything that makes me feel happy. Have you identified? Sir, I'll sit and identify, but I want to do something that will make me feel happy. You were not happy? Sir, my pocket was happy, but I was not happy. Career doesn't mean that you study and you work for somebody. Career means you do something that makes you happy. And don't be under impression, my dear friends. Since you are in college, at this age you feel, let me get good marks. Let me get good placement and then I'll be happy. The day you are placed, your grinding starts. I can give an open challenge. You decide what will be the salary because you know yourself the most. I don't know you. I cannot gauge you. I cannot put marking to you that this is salary you will get. You know yourself. Put a salary to yourself based on the caliber that you have. Put a salary figure. This will be my starting salary and I'll be working for 25 years or 22 years and this will be my salary at the end. Take the mean of it and add it to the years. What will be the salary? I'm sure it won't cross for an average people. I'm not saying for everybody, but for on an average, on general basis, it won't cross 3.5 to 4 crores. It cannot go beyond 3.5 to 4 crore in across your life. By becoming an entrepreneur, you have all the chances of making it in 5 years. 5 years, I've given a big gap. It can even become less. Now, I don't mean to say that this is a money minting machine. No. But then here you have a scope of doing whatever you want to. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on explaining why entrepreneurship is supposed to be the best career for current Indian nationals or young budding Indians. I can go on and on and on. I need to stop somewhere. Fine.
I think this can be the last question. Can a person in arts field be an entrepreneur in science field? Do I have to stick to my career path that I chose in college?
I told you, art and science and commerce are the streams created these days. Entrepreneur spirit does not require any kind of a specific need. You decide what you want to do, and for that, you decide whether I have an acumen for this or not. Of course, if you're an art student, you cannot say that I want to do something which is purely related to the coding part. And if still you want to do it, you can always do a coding course of maybe 3 months or 6 months or a year, and you can be an expert in coding, in spite of the fact that you are not a computer or computer science engineer. But still people can learn coding. You identify what you want to do and then identify what are the skills required for that to happen. Can I buy or gain that skills? No, I cannot do it. But yes, I can hire the skills. Go ahead and do it. Right now I'm sitting. Okay, just give me 1 minute, one last minute to make this understand. Long back when I was in my early college days, I did my 12th standard. My friends became doctor. I also had that, like everybody has. Since my friend is becoming so, I also want to become so. I wanted to become a doctor. I could not get that percentage. My friends became doctor. They got the percentage. I did not get that percentage. Fine. I went on to become engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer. And will you like to know where I'm sitting right now? I'm right now sitting in a clinic that I run. I run a clinic. I'm a mechanical engineer. How can you run a clinic by becoming a mechanical engineer? I'm not seeing patients. I've hired doctors. I've hired pharmacists. I've hired staff. They all are managing. I'm only taking care. Long back, I had a dream that I should become a doctor. By becoming a doctor, you own a clinic or your hospital. But at the age of 53, I started my clinic. At the age of 53, I started my clinic. And I'm running the clinic. I'm mechanical engineer. People go crazy when I say that I'm sitting, okay, you come and meet me, I'm sitting in the clinic. Not in this pandemic, but before pandemic also. So they call me, Mukeshji, I want to meet you. Where can I meet you? I have 3 offices. One of them is clinic. So I do, right now I'm sitting in the clinic, you come here. Clinic? You are a mechanical engineer if I knew, right? Yes, so what? I cannot become doctor, but then I can always hire the expertise if that serves the purpose. I think this is enough to explain. No education, art student can become whatever he wants to, provided he knows what he or she wants to. Great. Lakshmi.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. That was a lovely presentation. I think I would request Jayanti ma'am to feedback and
Sound is echoing. Okay. If the sound of one system is muted, this echo will stop. Lakshmi, are you on two system?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, myself, Dr. M. Jayanti, a lovely and warm evening to our most valuable and worthy guest, management, respected correspondent, principal, faculty, and beloved student friends. I, on behalf of Congo Arts and Science College Institution Innovation Council, first of all, I spread my most sincere thanks to our today's hero, yes, exactly, our chief guest, Mr. Mukesh Ashar, co-founder of Lemon Ideas, who gave his vital time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion. Thanks a lot, sir. It's our duty to expose our sincere gratitude towards you for your motivational and thought-provoking speech on what does it takes to be an entrepreneur. Your views on entrepreneurial thoughts and its ways of execution have broadened our horizons. We are in debt to appreciate you for your commendable job, sir. Really, we are very great enough. I wish to thank Madam Lakshmi, Managing Director of Lemon Ideas, who is a real instrumental person for arranging such a great session with a great person to our students. Thank you, Madam. I next wish to thank my hearty thanks to all the management, correspondents, sir, respected principals, sir, our HOD Dr. K.M. Kumaraguru sir, faculty members and student participants, because of whom we made this event a great success. I once again would like to thank you, sir, for such a wonderful speech and hope to get a chance to hear such a speeches from you in future also. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay home. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Madam Lakshmi, you may proceed, please.
Thank you, ma'am. So I think most of you have seen a feedback poll on your screen. Half of you have already voted. Request the rest of you to respond to the feedback. Just take a minute and answer the 3 questions in the feedback. So 100% of the voters said this program was useful and informative, and that they would like to learn more on how to be an entrepreneur. So we look forward to doing more programs at Congo College. Today went smoothly, and thank you for ensuring that, Jayanti ma'am and all the other teachers here. Thank you, students, for being with us patiently and being a active set of participants. With this, I would like to close the session. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.